The NFL free agency is far from over, and some massive names are still waiting for their next opportunity. For veteran superstars looking for their last run, the game-changing playmakers who can instantly reshape a contender. Today we will be counting down the top 5 free agents still available in the NFL. With just 90 days to go before the NFL 2026 kickoff, will these players find a home in time? Let's jump straight into it. At the number 5 spot, no other than former Pro Bowl linebacker Bobby Wagner, who spent most of his early career in Seattle before going off to the Rams and then back to Seattle, and then he spent his last 2 seasons in Washington. His first season in Washington, he had 132 total tackles, 75 assists, and 57 solo tackles with 2 sacks. Going into last season, which was 2025, he had 162 total tackles with 79 assists and 83 solo tackles with 4.5 sacks. I do not understand why a guy of this caliber isn't on an NFL roster just yet, but I feel strongly that he will be on a team before the 2026 kickoff even begins, people. The number 4 spot goes to Joey Bosa, who has had one of the more productive careers of any pass rusher from the 2016 NFL draft class. Known from his powerful hands, technique, and ability to pressure quarterbacks, he's been one of the most impact players whenever it's healthy. He spent his last year in Buffalo where he had 17 solo tackles before getting injured and had 5 sacks. Now, me personally, I do see Joey Bosa staying in the AFC. I can see him landing somewhere like the Cincinnati Bengals, a team that struggled on defense for years that can seriously need someone like a Joey Bosa who can come in and change the foundation of that defense who's been struggling on the line for many years now, bro. I can see Joey Bosa doing that, or I can see Joey Bosa going to play with his brother in the 49ers. Do Joey Bosa end up on a team before this summer is over? I slightly believe so, depending on how healthy he is. But let's see where it goes from here for the former first-round pick out of Ohio State. At the number 3 spot, no other than Deebo Samuel. Now, Deebo Samuel was traded from the San Francisco 49ers to the Washington Commanders. Now, when he got to Washington, Deebo Samuel had 72 receptions to go along with 727 yards and 5 receiving touchdowns during the 2025 NFL season. He contributed in the run game for the Commanders, and he also contributed on special teams for the Commanders. Now, Deebo Samuel is a former first-team All-Pro player in the year 2021. Then he's an All-Pro player again in the year 2022. Well, you could also say that rolled over from the year 2021. He made the Pro Bowl in 2021. 2 Super Bowl appearances with the 49ers. Super Bowl record holder for the most rushing yards by a wide receiver. Now, can Deebo Samuel stay healthy enough to where a team would want to risk giving him a big contract again? 49ers risking. We've seen how that played out. Would another team be willing to give Deebo Samuel another contract where he's not playing under a 1-year contract to have to worry about being cut after the season or re-signed, a contract being renegotiated, or anything in that category? Can Deebo Samuel stay healthy is his only problem, man. I still think Deebo Samuel has a lot to offer to any NFL team he ends up on. I think Deebo Samuel is a guy that can come into any offense and bring the smoke. Deebo Samuel is a guy that can get the job done. Simple as that. When he's healthy, Deebo Samuel is a dynamic player at any position on the field. I done see him throw balls. I done see him catch balls. Deebo Samuel can take a hitch to the house, a deep ball to the house, even a run to the house, people. Deebo Samuel is an elite wide receiver. Can he stay healthy enough to get on another team and get another big contract as he did in the San Francisco 49ers? At the number 2 spot, no other than NFL star receiver Stefon Diggs. The former Pro Bowl receiver has spent the last season at the New England Patriots before being released in 2026. Now at New England, he recorded 85 receptions, over 1,000 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He contributed a big part of New England's success to get them to where they went, which was the Super Bowl. I believe he led the team in receiving yards and receptions. Now, a lot of people have questioned, why was star receiver Stefon Diggs released from the New England Patriots? Well, as we see, it was to get A.J. Brown there and Douglas. I can understand those trades. I can understand what's going on. I can understand why they would trade Stefon Diggs for A.J. Brown. It comes with youth, size, playmaking abilities. But I believe Stefon Diggs is an amazing player who still has a lot of juice in the tank. To go for 85 receptions and over 1,000 yards, it seems like all this dude had to do was just stay healthy long enough to where he would be able to put up these numbers, and get a quarterback into the same system as him who could get him the ball on the outside, get him the ball on the inside, create a lot of plays for this guy. He's dynamic in the slot position, so as he is out wide at X. Stefon Diggs, to me, in my opinion, man, if I can predict where Stefon Diggs lands this upcoming season, I will predict that Stefon Diggs will land somewhere like a Las Vegas Raiders or a Miami Dolphins. That's my opinion, because I believe those are two teams that are dying for a #1 receiver at the moment, or he could potentially end up back in Buffalo. Had an amazing career there. He played very good when he was in Minnesota early on in his career. I believe truly that Stefon Diggs ends up on the team within the next week or so. At the #1 spot, no other than Tyreek Hill himself, the Super Bowl receiver who has multiple All-Pro selections, who has 8 Pro Bowl selections. Tyreek Hill is the most elite free agent player on the market right now. Now here's the question. After that crazy knee injury in the year 2026 with the Miami Dolphins, will Tyreek Hill be able to even come back and play? That's not to say just this season, at all, period, else in his life. Will Tyreek Hill be able to ever play football again is a question a lot of people have. And if he is able to play again, will he be the same cheater that he was before the knee injury at the Miami Dolphins? Now, Tyreek Hill is one of those guys that can just flat out play football. Tyreek Hill is one of these guys that were born to play the sport of football, man. He's undersized, coming out of Oklahoma State. Tyreek Hill is one of the guys that the NFL has in the elite receiver category, right? Now, he's played with 2 different styles of quarterbacks. He's played with Patrick Mahomes, he's played with Tua, but there is a big difference in playing with Tua and playing with Patrick Mahomes. Now, in the Miami Dolphins, Tyreek Hill was able to get a lot of reverses, a lot of pop-out routes, a lot of slants across the middle of the field, but where he was used in Kansas City a lot different. More of a deep threat receiver in Kansas City, more of a special teamist in Kansas City. Kansas City allowed him to be just as dominant as he can be. Playing special teams while starting at receiver is kind of crazy to many people, but Kansas City, I feel, opened him up a lot more than the Miami Dolphins did, even though in the Dolphins, he had crazy numbers. He put up, I believe, his highest receiving year at Miami Dolphins playing with Tua. The year Tua won a passing title, which was 2023. I believe this guy does not play in the 2026 NFL season, which would be, to me, the best option for Tyreek Hill, being that his injury to his knee was so crazy that he should just sit out and heal. I think Tyreek Hill should take this whole season off to just heal, right? Now, my prediction where he ends up, is, of course, back in Kansas City. They're struggling with the receiver room at the moment, battling legal fees and injuries. I believe the Kansas City Chiefs go out, bring Tyreek Hill back home, Tyreek Hill gets healthy, and we see that dynamic duo again between Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes.